Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. InshaAllah, what we have from SMC family inshaAllah. Before we start in the next few nights, I'm going to keep asking from all our people and very talented AI guys, AI animators, is that we have a lot of new people. And I don't know if anybody's noticed, but for new people the information has become extremely complicated by shaitan. We need a nice anime or animation or video on just simple how to pray. A very simple how to pray, nothing complicated, very simple. Every movement with transliteration in English, showing the character standing, going to ruku and going down into sujood. And using the words that are in the Naqshbandi, using the awrad from the Naqshbandi, our words. Because now I'm seeing so many videos with recitations at the beginning that we've never recited and making every step to be complicated. And once we have a video on just the basics for an introduction into somebody coming new into Islam, how to pray. If you send those to us then we'll give a $250 award from the SMC store for the winning video, and you email to Ali Aftab. InshaAllah you'll see his email in the comments, he's one of the moderators on the YouTube. Or helpme@noormuhammad.com and we can send you Ali Aftab's email, and then you make the video, send it to us, we'll have a competition which one's was the best one that we can use. And alhamdulillah then the winner will grant the $250 credit to the store. And then another video on wudu, just very simple wudu. My goodness, they have qaris making wudu videos and even those are wrong. I don't know why it has to be so complicated. So it's just something very simple according to how Naqshbandis do it, we have it in our awrad book, and very simple animation wudu and this. So how to pray and very simple 2 rakahs or 4 rakahs, and then how to make wudu inshaAllah. Let's see what we have. A lot of young guys also in our Discord that are making all sorts of animations, so it'd be great to have people compete and try to put out a great da'wah. So this. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. InshaAllah if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans, Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream, every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So many new people and they're all shy on how to ask, and the videos are complicated. I watch the videos to see which one we can send to people, I wouldn't send them. They're complicated and linked to questionable groups inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, when we went for Hajj, we didn't realize the immense realities that were described in the book of Hajj. Does it mean we are short in our Hajj being accepted?
You don't fall short on your Hajj being accepted, it's just you didn't achieve the reality of it. You achieve from what you know. That's why Prophet described to companions, seek knowledge. Even to Chin, which is its own reality and secret, but the way was based on seeking knowledges. So we go one time, alhamdulillah, you got the barakah, the thawab and the sawab of the Hajj if you went for Hajj or you went for Umrah, no problem. But when you seek knowledges and realities and then you go again as a knower, that's completely different, because how could you achieve the reality without knowing it? So many people go spend a lot of time in Mecca and they have almost a rudeness in Medina, because this is the tour packages are geared towards that, where they should have gone to Medina first and completed their 8-9 days of their salah, spend their time with Prophet, ask for permission from Sayyidina Muhammad that grant me to make my Hajj and to be successful in my Hajj, and that Allah accept my Hajj. And then when you sit and you meditate in Medina knowing, and then you sit and you meditate in Mecca knowing. So this is the difference of the knower versus the non-knower. When a knower comes, they know what they're doing, they're connecting their heart, they're achieving all the diamonds that Allah has hidden for servants to achieve. So then we try to go again to know even more, then we go for umrah knowing more. So each time the knower does something with knowledge, you can see how powerful it is. Many people out there right now pray and they feel nothing. They do this, they do that, they don't understand they're feeling nothing. If you're feeling nothing you're doing it wrong. If you're feeling nothing you're with the wrong people. So if you want to feel something, start emailing helpme@nurmuhammad.com. You should feel energy, you should feel an energy in your heart, you should feel like a revival in your soul, and that you should feel your way moving towards the connection to Sayyidina Muhammad. There's 400,000 subscribers now, many are coming from many different places and tariqas, and they just think, okay, tariqah is tariqah. So no, you should be feeling this tariqah has a lot of power. These shaykhs whom we are describing their system have a lot of power. If they don't teach this system and you don't feel anything, well, start the practices that we're training people with. Email helpme@nurmuhammad.com, inshaAllah. Not everything round is an orange, not every orange tastes good. So if the demeanour is not good, the character is not good, it doesn't warm the heart to make a connection. So this is all about the sweetness. So if there's a heart that connects, they feel the sweetness of the teachings, they feel their heart is opening to that reality, then begin to practice, make your connection and be loyal to the teacher and continue on your path inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Shaykh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
What is the secret of China in that example? What does it symbolize?
I don't know. You have to seek knowledge all the way to Chin. We have to ask the holy Sahabi who actually got there 1500 years ago. And one of the oldest parts of the nation of Prophet are the Chinese Muslims. So this is a group of the Muslim nation that has been long established in that region. So this was a great reality, and this was the way of the holy companions to seek out knowledges and to do da'wah. Life was about da'wah. We made the da'wah so easy, it's just click on an article, click on the charities, click on the store, click on something from our organization and share it. For the people watching, that your support is greatly appreciated. When you go to the store, you go to the charity, you go to the articles and share them everywhere. We are not supported by a government, we're supported by our students. If they like the teachings, their hearts are connected to the teachings, alhamdulillah they support, and they support the teachings, propagate the teachings and the way. And mashaAllah with all these people we're blanketing everywhere. All the media goes out, all the links go out, and our people mashaAllah very active. So alhamdulillah they must be feeling something and must be doing something right, and Allah's rida and satisfaction inshaAllah addressing and blessing everyone. Hundreds of qurbans will be done. Some groups don't even put out 5 qurbans, 10 qurbans, but to motivate hundreds of qurbans all over the world from a jama'ah, then alhamdulillah. You have to congratulate all our people. Maybe 70, 80, 90, 100 in India, in Pakistan, in Kenya, Nigeria. So these are the works of people coming together and making things to happen. So alhamdulillah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
If you are sometimes affected by the dark sources even if you are wearing a ta'weez, does it mean your faith is not strong?
No, it means there's too much dark sources around you. So anything else in life also. So imagine like I don't know how, but yeah, you have some sort of protection and you drive through a bad neighborhood. Does the protection stop them from seeing you or trying to come close to you? No, because they see you, they're coming close to you, and people put themselves in places that are not good or surrounded by people whom have lot of negative energies. So we are also responsible to wash, to keep our wudu, to burn isfan, to wear our ta'weez, put ta'weez upon the car. We ask people, do you have your ta'weez? They say, no, I have it in my wallet. Well, it's not here to defend your wallet, it's here to defend you. And then put it on your car, put it on your home, put it on your windows, put it in your room. So yeah, we've seen from people whom are close to us, their homes had nothing on the wall, just little ta'weez. But if anyone's seen our center, our walls are all calligraphy, all ta'weezes. So why? So that to make an energy that is very angelic. There's nothing that you're hiding. This is something that your house, your rooms all have to be like a masjid. All ta'weezes everywhere, all calligraphies everywhere, very beatific, very majestic. So our life is not to hide this but to make it very uncomfortable for anything other than what's good. So when your house looks like a masjid, then these evilnesses don't want to enter and there's nowhere for them to try to hide. So you don't keep your walls all bare and white and nothing on them. It's not a hospital for a mental institution. It has to look like the Khiswa, it has to look like Madinatul Munawwarah, has not even by after the Wahhabis ruined everything, but has to be filled with calligraphies and ta'weezes and everything, so that to have a very majestic and angelic appearance and power inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Shaykh.
Wa alaykum salam.
Shaykh, you had mentioned that demonic forces can block the love. Could you explain?
Demonic negative always blocks love. This is the nature of demonic forces. They don't allow love and good character and good energies to come. They want only negativity and badness. InshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
How to know if you are sincere? The nafs plays tricks and can fool one into thinking that one is being sincere and not wanting anything from the connection, relationship.
Not wanting anything from the connection? I don't know. You know if you're sincere, you may think you're sincere, but Allah has to open sincerity, and we've described that in other talks. So when somebody thinks they have love, then Allah's going to test them. And when their character is good and they've been tested, they've been tried, they've been squeezed, they've been every type of squeezing and testing Allah has put them through, Allah grants a sincerity in which their love is from the depth of their soul to the Shaykh and to Prophet. That if you feel it, then you know that your connection is very strong. It's not something you guess, it's not a philosophy. You wouldn't even ask if you had that. It's not something that you ask to confirm because it's sincere, it has its own vision and reality. So we don't, it's not a blindness, have I reached yet? I don't know, do I have that hand in my hand? I have no idea. No, it's not there. If you can clearly see the hand that you're holding and the personality and the presence in which you're in, then it's all clear, because sincerity has yaqeen. Yaqeen is certainty. So Sayyidina Ibrahim asked Allah, Ya Rabbi, let me see how you revive the dead. And Allah asked Sayyidina Ibrahim, why? You don't believe? He said, no, I believe but I want certainty. So means in the servants whom granted certainty, Allah opened their heart to see it, to witness it. So that's when we taught before, ilm wa yaqeen, ayn wa yaqeen, that they meditate, they have knowledges, and what happens? Haqqa yaqeen, they see it. They see what the shaykh is talking about, they see the shaykh, they witness the knowledges, and they witness even more knowledges than were described by tongue. These are the knowledges that come through heart. So the way is through the heart, not through the outside. These teachings are to bring people to an inner dimension and inner reality, and that's where the tariqah begins, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam rahmatullah.
If one is not crushed much as everything is going fine, alhamdulillah, then how can one become a wave? By the services or by what means? Please forgive me.
By the khidmat and service. So spreading the knowledges, following the knowledges and living a life of service in itself is crushing, because the knowledges teach you things that you have to try to do, and the inability to follow them and to do them, that becomes the battle. As soon as you want to do good things and do your awrads, do your zikrs, the shaitan says, no, you're busy, you got work, you have this, you have that. That's the crushing. And as soon as you want to have good character, and the shaitan comes and sends people to fight you, to argue with you, to make every type of bad character come out and make you to be defeated in Allah's presence. So we have to ask ourselves, are we really trying to do it, or are we just trying to hide, avoid it and come out thinking we're great? So we can, the people when Prophet said, come it's time for battle, what was their response? Say, oh, we have business and family, and they ran. And they thought by the running that they'll go, they'll avoid this and they'll catch everybody when they come back. But that's not how the system works. So Allah then gave the example, look, if you fear, wherever you are Allah can get you. And when the Prophet calls, it was the responsibility to go. But this is the same as in the nafs is always doing that, oh should I really do that? No, I'll just do this, and then I'll avoid this, I'll avoid that, and then I come out feeling great. But the real thing is to struggle against oneself to implement what the shaykh is teaching, put out the charities, put out the articles, do the awrad, do the zikrs, do the programs, take a path in which to have good character, meditate, contemplate. You're guaranteed that testings will begin inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, dear Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Whatever you teach mostly we see in our life, but how to deal with the nani?
The nani people or nani life is if you accompany the shaykh, he's going to take your none, don't worry. Nani people, they cannot stand donating because they love money. And the nani people, they complain about the none. They say, oh why is this shaykh asking for money? Why he's make it charity? Why people are hungry one day and then the rest of the year they're okay? Or they only need water one time? So this is when you identify your nani character. So how Prophet described the nani people, their hand is like a fist. They have 1 dirham but it's locked. So this is historical teaching, this is not a new system, but the awliya come with sort of more flavorful ways of saying it. But when you're tight-fisted means you don't want to give anything. And they're trying to teach us this miraculous ways that why? Why you don't want to give? Why don't you want to live a life open-handed? 2 sicknesses will come, 1 it will run out. Then you identified now you have no faith or lack of faith. How it's going to run out? The Creator who brought you into a womb, brought you onto this earth and will take you into the grave has already written your sustenance. And the more your hand is open, the more you can see the miracle of the Creator provide you from ways you never imagined, open doors that you never could have imagined, and open realities that you could have never imagined. Because your hand became a service that whatever He put on it fell out. You take for yourself, your family, no problem, but you live a life of immense generosity. Those people are not surrounded by nani people. They don't find an attraction to them. So once they become sincere with their hand, because their hands will testify, then they move closer to the people whom are sincere with their tongue, and these are like the stages. So a generous person becomes more sincere, he finds himself no more with nani people because the nani people say, are you crazy? Why are you giving so much? Why are you with them so much? Why are you doing like this? Why you have this beard? Why you have this hat? Come join us, put karavat and let's go and sit in the donut house and talk about conquering the city, being politicians, being this, being that. And nani people, they don't give money, they don't like to be generous and they don't like to hear about people whom are generous. So they by themselves they filter out. As a result then the person becomes sincere, what happens? They're surrounded now by the people of lisan because they're loving people. But then you start to realize, yeah, a lot of these guys kinda talk the talk. They learned how to talk a certain way, they have this sort of humbleness, but I don't think they walking the walk. So there are a lot of people, they're by lisan, they say, oh they love this, they love that, they love this, they love this, but you don't really rely on them. Now you're moving towards ikhlas and maqam al-ihsan, in which you've progressed and you don't really care for the lisan people because you know in your heart, this guy's just talking, he's not going to do any action on it. Then your heart is now drawn more to the people whom you know they give their heart and soul in the way of Prophet. You're attracted to them, you want to be around them, you want to eat and drink around them because they're all sincere. So sincere people will attract sincere people and some charlatans from outside trying to take advantage of their sincerity, but that's why we have a shaykh to guide us, no, don't do like that. But this is the nature because how we are is how we attract. So remember we start to wear the glasses of sincerity, we attract sincerity. But when we're nani, when we're just about the money and dunya, then we attract a lot of those types of people. And as soon as we try to levitate and leave that type of environment, you go back and remember how many of your friends complained about you donating. What relatives would tell me, "Why are you donating so much? Why are you giving like this? Why are you…" Did they ever ask you about anything else in life? Why now they want to know about this subject? They never say how much you spent on a movie or how much you bought that car, how much you bought… nothing. They just want to know, why are you donating? Because it makes them very upset. And that's also because the soul knows what it should be doing and they don't want to remember. They don't want to remember what the soul needs to accomplish on this earth. So yeah, these are reflective realities. So when you meditate and contemplate, all of these become clear. And I show me your friends and I show you who you are. Why they have that expression? So you look around and say, "Oh my friends, they're so money oriented." And that says a lot about ourselves. Then you look around and say, "No, later in life, oh my friends they all have, they talk very nicely about realities." And they say, "Okay, maybe I'm just talking the talk and I don't do it." And then when I become super sincere in my heart and soul and say, "I'm going to give my life into this," then you find yourself, look around and you see many people like that all around you, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
How can those of us with extreme trauma keep ourselves from feeling betrayed or abandoned by Allah, astaghfirullah, especially when our trauma symptoms can keep us from being of service to focus on something other than our pain? What is Allah's hikmah behind this test?
Everybody has a difficulty, everybody has an abuse, everybody has a discomfort, and we have other discussions on that we live the conditions in which Allah puts us in, and He doesn't try us beyond our ability to cope. And from every people will come a warner. So in last days people coming to Allah are going to have many traumas. How many were abused? How many were drug addicts? How many were abusing themselves? How many were put this and put that and put this and put that? All of these difficulties. Then who's going to deal with them if a person hasn't had a trauma too? You don't relate at all. So everybody has to be relatable. So from amongst these difficulties Allah is now raising people who will come out and warn. So when the person says, "Oh you don't know, I don't believe in anything, I've suffered all my life," and the person says, "No, don't say that, I've also suffered." And they say, "What?" Say, "Yeah, I suffered, I've worked through it and now I have a strong connection to my Creator." And as a result they become like lifeguards in which they bring people back to the divine realities, because this is the evilness of what mankind and devils have put upon each other. So it's a rahmah from Allah to make people relatable. So there are people who fall into the mud and very difficult situations, but the miracle Allah raised them, and that they're now in the associations of the love of Prophet, and many you wonder how they got out of that difficulty, like horrific difficulties. And this is the greatness of Allah, He raised from amongst them a warner, because if this person becomes strong and understands where they came from, they're going to go back now and deal with those people. These people whom have marked themselves, abused themselves, been through many difficulties. Someone from amongst themselves has to talk to them, not someone from a village that can't relate. That's why he said in this hemisphere there has to be people from this world, from these cities. You can't bring somebody from a village that nobody understands and never seen anything and come and talk to these people. So from every group Allah brings a warner. And so alhamdulillah, inshaAllah these people be from those warners. Raise yourself, lift yourself, bring yourself into strength, into love of Prophet, And if the physicality was crushed, then you should have a stronger connection with your soul, and not to ask about the past, not to think about the future, but be active in the very moment right now. And look at the calamities of Karbala, and why did it happen to the blessed family of Prophet, and why were they cut into pieces on a battlefield from Muslims? They weren't cut up by the Jews, not by the Christians, not by the Buddhists, but by Muslims. So then there's no more questions, why? This is the ticket to paradise has a price. It's a matter of how we're going to survive when Allah tests, and who we love, and based on that love it should grant us an ease and a comfort. The love of Prophet is a coolness in the fires of difficulty and pain, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Can you please expand on how reciting the Shahada recalibrates our being?
It is a reset from the immensity of the realities of La ilaha illallah. Takes you into the state of death where everything is negated in the kalimah. That in the teachings, in their khalwas, La ilaha illallah make the servant to be non-existent, and as soon as they say Muhammadur Rasulullah they come into existence, because that's what the kalimah means. So in my state, in my presence, when I say La ilaha illallah, what did I just say? There's nothing but Allah, no divinity, no hierarchy, no nothing but Allah. Then I vanished, I negated myself, I'm not even in there. So when we say La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, we are bringing ourselves down to the reality of not being existent. As soon as we say Muhammadun Rasulullah you come into existence. So it's a rebooting. When your computer doesn't work right, what do? You turn it off. Why do you turn it off? So that all of the signals will go off, because there's maybe some communication errors in signals, because these are energy frequencies. Frequency going to the software, frequency going to your printer, frequency going here. And when these frequencies are not communicating correctly, shut down the entire computer, so there's no more frequency. So this is La ilaha illallah. As soon as you power back up, what happens? It's now Muhammadun Rasulullah, means now entire frequencies have all come back to everything within the body and the soul. This is the haqqaiq of it. The one whom can achieve its reality through seclusions, then they understood, they felt it, they understood. You can diminish the life force and then bring the life force back with the mentioning of Muhammadun Rasulullah. So as a result of its haqqaiqs, this is our reboot. And we say 3 times, one because we have to reboot back to the source file in Allah's Divinely Lights, reboot into the Muhammadan haqqaiq, and then reboot into the Adamic reality. Because we have the 3 source, the essence source which is in Allah, then from Allah's light created Muhammadun Rasulullah. So there's the ocean of Prophet, and then the Adamic ocean in which we are coming out into that reality. And that's why the importance of 3 in everything we do, and represents the reality of the soul that comes from these 3 realities. So as soon as we recite the kalimah 3 times, it's like a 3-time reboot, that the first one dropped down, the second one dropped down, the third one dropped down and came back up with Muhammadun Rasulullah. And that's why it's a cleansing, because rebooting your computer is a cleansing. It shuts everything and recalibrates all the connections, same for us. As As soon as we go outside of our Islam we've lost our connection. So what are you supposed to do? Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu Muhammad Rasulullah. You got angry, you entered into kufr. You immediately have to go back to say, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu Muhammad Rasulullah. To go back into your Islam, to recalibrate back your energies. So this is why Prophet gave that to us. And we say it in our azan, we say it in our salah, we say it in why? Because continuously reboot and recalibrate back up our light to where we are supposed to be. And we destroy ourselves the most, our greatest enemy is ourself, what we damage to our reality and to our lights. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammadin Mustafa wa bi siri Suratul Fatiha.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans, Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.